So 1799, John Reed's son Conrad found a yellow rock in the little metal creek on the farm, and it reportedly weighed about 17 pounds. And it was a bright yellow rock. Thought it was pretty cool. They used it as a doorstop for about 3 years, and then in 1802, traveling jeweler stopped and John showed him the rock, and he bought it from him for $3.50. The actual value was $3,600. So when Reed figured that out, he began looking for more gold in the area, and that's how the first gold rush in the country began. What's sort of cool is they've got a series of safes here with various gold artifacts in them. Hopefully you can see through the glare. So this is an Apollo lunar helmet worn by Gene Cernan, Apollo 17. And there he is, actually on the moon, wearing that helmet. So I'm going to take the gold ore and run it through a stamping mill like this to make it small particles, to be able to separate the gold out from the other stuff. It could come down an apron table like this, where the plates could be coated with mercury, which would cling to the gold and let other things pass by. That would get a lot, but then you could run it over a concentrating table. If you've ever seen the show, I think it's on AMC or Discovery, Gold Rush, they basically, it would come down, this would shake back and forth and work the particles down through, and the gold would be caught in these grooves, and the real fine silt would wash away. So this is the creek where they found it, the original pretty yellow rock, and well, it's not very imposing. Probably looks a lot like it did back then. So I guess it pays to keep your eyes open. So you got a nice little trail, goes up to the underground mine, which eventually was done here. Hi YouTube. Well, today I'm at the John Reed gold mine near Charlotte, North Carolina, and behind me is a modern day entrance audit, they call it, which is a horizontal tunnel, and we're gonna go check out inside. So let's go. So let's go in and see how the mine is. So what they did was find outcroppings of quartz on the surface, and then follow them in, and we're going to come up on a quartz deposit pretty soon. So this is what they'd call a stoop. They'd find a quartz vein and they'd dig out a little bit, like on this side, and a little bit on this side, and assay it out to see if it was worth keeping to follow. In this case, it wasn't. And you can actually see the original level of the floor. is here, which is about 2 feet higher than the modern floor that I'm walking on. And I can see with the quartz, want to check this out. So let's go farther back in the mine. So, this is the bottom of the Morgan shaft. And this one is still open. And I'm not sure, but looks like there's another level up there. And, this is sort of what the mine, well, this is the actual part of the mine. So this is the kind of tunnel that they were using, not the big open ones that I get to walk through. And, of course, all that moss and stuff growing there wouldn't have been here. They basically, back then, you would use candles. So you'd be working by candlelight. If you watch some of my previous videos of mines where I was like in the copper mines up in Minnesota, and especially the one, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but the really old one that was about from the same vintage as this, and just how sketchy those tunnels were compared to the modern cribbing and stuff in this one. So, and of course from those previous videos you would have seen these pneumatic drills that were used to, back originally they would have one guy rotating the rock chisel and another guy hitting the end. You better trust your partner. And again, you're doing it by candlelight, so not a whole lot of light. That was to drill holes to blast, and then of course these pneumatic drills speeded that whole process up. And that pneumatic drill was not used here. I read there's just here as an example of what they would have used in other places. So this led over to veins 1, 2, and 3. We've been following vein 4. I'm in they call a vein 4 gallery, and when we look up, they clean this out up about 35 feet high, a large, very large room. They figure quite a bit of gold came out of this when they were following this vein up, and now we're gonna head back up to the surface. This is a rock bolt, as it says on the sign. It's a way modern lode mining to stabilize the rock here. So there's a number of them where this probably was deemed to be unstable. And this is the upper end of that Morgan shaft, and we're up on what they call the upper hill. So if I remember right, it was like 50 feet down, and they would haul up the ore using that bucket or kibble. And remember, we looked up from the bottom, so they would have hauled it up and then carted it to the stamp mill. This is what they call the engine shaft, and it's the deepest shaft on the property. By 1853 it was dug to a depth of 110 feet, pumped out, re-timbered many times. By 1912, the last year that they did underground work here, the engine shaft got down to nearly 150 feet, and now you can see it's deteriorated and choked off just below the 35-foot level. And that hole down there, that's the vein 1 drift at the 30-foot level. So And they used that shaft for mechanically hauling up men and equipment, and of course the ore. Alright, so there's the shaft, and then the chimney here. That's they had a steam engine over there, and that would run the equipment here. It'd haul the ore up. It'd be broken up into fist-sized chunks. They had a stamping mill here that would reduce that down to even smaller pieces, and then it was run through with a Chilean mill, which was basically a big, heavy round stone that would crush it even smaller. And then over there they had a, I believe it's pronounced a rist, they dragged flat stones over what had been through everything else to crush it even further. And if I remember right, if you saw my video from Death Valley where I was talking about the how the miners down there crushed the gold ore, that's what they did. That's how they did it back down there. So as you can imagine, with the gold fever going on, that there are open pits all over this area. They've got it fenced off, but I mean, there's the remnants of one, more over there, another one over there. So it's quite the active area for mining back there, and they're in their first gold rush. So there's a close-up of one of those Chilean mills, and here are a few examples of the stones that they would have used. So right outside the visitor center, they actually have one of the Chilean mills set up, so you can see sort of how they all went together. Now they do have a operating stamp mill in this building. Unfortunately, I picked a time just before they're really getting busy where they're doing maintenance on it, so it's not running today. But we've seen models of stamp mills in the other videos, and so I think we get an idea. It would have been interesting to just see how loud one of these things really is in real life. So back in 2005, Troop 9 Eagle Scout project was to build at least some of this. And what is this? This is a gold panning area. You know, they got, from what I understand, it's $3 a pan. They will shovel in, give you a pan full, and you can come over here. They'll teach you how to pan for gold. And from what I've read, they find still find gold. About 1 in 10 pans will get a flake or two of gold, maybe a tiny little nugget. If you want a taste for what it was like and how to pan for gold, this would be the place to do it. Not going to get rich. Those little nuggets, from what I've heard, you might get 25 cents worth, of gold. So anyway, I think this is a good spot for me to leave you. And here at Reed Gold Mine, I'm still getting used to this new camera. That's why the jiggling back and forth. It's free to go in, check out the mine, explore the area. Like I said, the panning is $3 a pan. They do have school groups, which I've been dodging today. And but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Now I've seen copper mines. I've seen gold mines. What's next? I'm sure we'll find another mine somewhere along the line. All right. See you later, YouTube. I'll get back on the road. Well, I'm taking a little bit of a break in my travels north this spring to let spring catch up to me. I'm not actually sure what this is that's blooming behind me, but it smells delicious. And I wanted to take this moment here in the hills of North Carolina to say thank you for subscribing. Over 3,800 of you have done so, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. And if you'd like to help me out, I have started a Patreon account. For as little as $1 a month, you could help me cover some of the costs of admissions to the various places. You know, buy me a little bit of fuel, or buy my cat a cat toy. Anyway, there is a link below to the Patreon account, and if you don't want to donate, that is fine too. The videos are still going to be free. Nothing's going to change. But I thank you for watching, and see you down the road.